excited, kind of business-like. This is an important week. I think we've had some very good weeks of practice in terms of effort. There's a lot to do in a short amount of time with a game of this caliber. You know, going out to St. Joe's first game with essentially a new team. So we're trying to put the pieces together and continue to work hard. But obviously there's a sense of excitement about a game right around the corner.
I feel like they're ready. I mean, you guys have had so many new people shuffling in here the last couple of weeks. I feel like they're ready to do this.
It's a good question. It's a relative term. I think St. Joe's has had the same amount of time to prep. They have the same amount of new guys, pretty much. You know, we'll see. I think it's if you're gauging how we're doing and whether we're improving, yeah, we're improving. I want the focus there these last couple of days, and I think leadership's important this time of year with guys that have experience at this level. I think they have to continually talk to your team about just how hard it's going to be on the road, just what to expect, and so that we don't have, you know, games where we come out not ready to play, where we have a bad half, where we don't understand how to finish. So you're hoping that the message is getting across not only from the coaching staff but also from teammates that have been there.
I feel like you guys, when you got in the, it's only two exhibition games, but did you feel like you guys kind of gained a lot of stuff that you hope they got from those two exhibitions you had?
I think it's hard to read exhibitions from a competition standpoint. I think you can gain a little bit of confidence. I think you can get a little bit of feel who's trying to do the things that you're trying to get done on the court. So I think it's more effort and whether guys are listening. So you can get a feel for that. As to the level of competition and understanding, it's going to be game-to-game experience for a lot of these new ones. And you know, you just hope that guys are growing up sooner rather than later. And we're trying to make it hard on them, though, so that when the situation comes up, they can handle it. And that's part of our job as coaches. So, you know, I think they're getting there. I think they're getting there, but it's a lot. We'll see come game time. And you hope that the initial game jitters and understand the level, you hope that gets out of their system and they can work it out on the court.
How did you feel like, you know, from an effort standpoint, from a listening standpoint, they did over the course of really the first couple games? Because in practice, I know it's a day-to-day thing, but once they get under the lights and they get the game uniforms on, all that sort of deal, how did you feel like, you know, that went overall?
I think a lot of positives. I think a lot of positives. I think there's always stuff to work on, and as a coaching staff, you always look at the negative part, probably more than the positives. But we made progress. That's the big point of emphasis with this year's team: improvement, progress. Continue to work on the teamwork. Continue to work on the pride that you got to have out there on the court with everything that you do. Continue to get tougher as a team and understand we don't have an easy road with our schedule. We're not going to have many nights out where, you know, it's a cakewalk. So happy with that. Happy with the improvement. A lot to work on. Continue to have guys that have really good days and then, you know, step back or maybe struggle some days, and that's just part of having a lot of new players in the system. You know, it's important that I practice patience. I don't think the guys would tell you, you know, I'm a very patient kind of coach, but I'm really trying with this group, and that'll be the case. That'll be the case with the coaching staff. We need to be patient. That'll be the case, hopefully, with the fan base, understanding that we are making progress.
How hard is that going to be to do, because this game counts now, and they all count from here on out, to continue to preach that and kind of stack days on top of each other going forward when games matter?
Well, I think if we are talking about going out and competing, okay, we've put a lot of stuff in. We've started to really build our defensive philosophy. On the offensive end, we know we got to take care of the ball. The fundamentals, if we go out and understand the competing part and at least lay it out there from an energy standpoint, and then really start to get better at the mental focus part, then we're doing okay. You know, we're doing okay. We're getting there. So that's what you want to see as a coach this early. You want to see great energy and enthusiasm for playing. You want to see some toughness out there. You want to see some execution, even though it's early. We have to make good decisions. So those are the types of things that I'm going to gauge in terms of success.
Road was a thorn in your side for most of last season. This is a chance to start off on the right foot on the road. Just talk about that opportunity and the challenge of that as well.
I think that's the word. I think it's a great opportunity, to put a lot of things behind us, to look into the future with the possibilities. And regardless of how the game goes, we have a lot of potential. And potential's nothing unless you really are scratching, reaching it and understanding that it is a process. We do have to work, but great opportunity. St. Joe's is looking at the same way. I don't think they had I know they didn't have a particularly good season by their standards, and I know they're looking to make a statement themselves, but I think there's no better opportunity than do it on the road. I think it proves a lot to yourself.
I know they got a lot of new faces as well. What do you expect from them?
A little bit of leadership from the 3-4 guys that are returning. They got a lot of minutes. I think they got a kid, Hilliard, that's a lot like Pettigrew, and a tough kid, and they're not going to give up anything easy. I think their freshmen are talented and have a chance to come in and compete just like ours can, and they'll have their moments where they look really good. They'll have their moments where they look really bad, similar to what you can expect from us at times. And I do think their coach will have them ready to play.
How similar, I don't know how much you've run across St. Joe's in the past, but I mean, how similar do you feel like Coach Martelli's teams are? Obviously, they've got a lot of roster turnover. They want to change their fortunes from a year ago, but how much can you rely on what he likes to do in terms of trying to kind of prepare?
Well, hopefully this doesn't come down to a coaching contest. We know how that might go. So, it's one of those things. You have a lot of respect for what he's done in their program. I think he's a heck of a coach and good motivator, good X's and O's guys. He's trying to do the same things we're doing. He's trying to develop his young guys at a faster rate than they're supposed to, because he's going to have to rely on some new ones, and he wants to get back to where they were, in recent history here. So just have a lot of respect for him, and they're not going to give us anything. There's no question about that. Just like our schedule, there's no one on that schedule that's going to take it easy on us. So we got to understand that you got to have a lot of fire to go on the road in general. But now we're taking on a very good program with a very good coach. So we're excited.
You've been concerned, I guess, about guys relying too much on athleticism, rebounding or other things. I guess how they responded to kind of knowing they can't do that from this point forward.
Well, I think it's a process as well. You have to develop habits, and there's a lot of gifted individuals in our locker room. I think as you watch tape, you understand, hey, if I get some of the fundamentals down, I can take my game potential to another level, and then it helps our team. I think when we watch mistakes on tape that we made in exhibitions or practices, I think it really helps them understand, that little edge can really make a difference. And there's a lot of good athletes out there. We got out-rebounded by, a team that wasn't even a Division I team. Imagine the possibilities of going against guys that are bigger and just as fast as we are. So it's a learning process, and you just want them to keep improving, mostly off of watching from their mistakes or learning from their mistakes. The great thing now is we haven't played a game that is counted, so you can use that tape and really learn from it, so that when we do go on the road, your habits are a little bit better. You put yourself in position to compete and win.
With guys who are such capable rebounders like Juan, Sergio, and Stefan, do you look at it and say, unless we meet a team who's got a bunch of kids 6'10" and bigger, there's really no reason for you guys to get out-rebounded in a way?
Yeah, I don't think we should. With our quickness and athleticism, I don't think we should be out-rebounded much at all. I really don't. We have to have some tenacity about us, and that gets back to really trying to become a defensive-minded team, and that takes time. That takes time. That takes a lot of pride with each player, and we've had our ups and downs already in the first couple exhibitions with ball pressure. I think you've seen a different team at times rebounding the ball, but you got to be consistent with it, and that's where the habits come out. I don't think we should be out-rebounded a lot, and sometimes it takes a tough lesson to learn that. I've been there on that side of a losing game, not blocking out and getting out-rebounded, stuff like that.